My long-suffering travel agent, Nancy, like 3:41 in the morning. Dear Nancy, book this, why don't you? And hours later, I go staggering into my office, and Nancy has written me back. Dear Henry, you American psycho, I can book this, but you can't survive it. Your arms will burn off from the friction. You'll be like a middle-aged man bullet ricocheting all around the world. And I wrote back and said, Nancy, just book it. Book it before I come to my senses. Book it before I get 8 hours of sleep. Because as it is now, I forget at least 1/3 of the countries I asked you to send me to, which will make the itinerary fantastic. Where am I going tomorrow? Yeah, that'll keep you awake, keeps the blood thin. And so I went into my assistant's office. Well, her parents naively named it Heidi. I called it the demon. And so I threw my passport through the air. The demon caught it in a reptilian tail. And the demon knows that when I give it my passport, its job is to send it on a FedEx tour of consulates so it can have visas whacked into it. And so the visa goes on tour, the passport goes on tour to get visas. Dear Nancy puts the coordinates. And several weeks after I wrap out of the Sons of Anarchy, I leave America and I'm living out of the same 2 backpacks as I was in October, as I am this afternoon. And so I went from America to Germany, to Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Brunei, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, China, Senegal, and Mali. And from the burning sands of the Saharan Desert in Timbuktu, 2 days after this festival is over, the Desert Music Festival, I land on the drizzling streets on Grafton Street, downtown Dublin, to start this tour that I'm on now. And that is why I look like I weigh 40 pounds, because I haven't slept in about 1.5 years. But I would have it no other way. And so I went bouncing through all of these countries, and at one point I found myself in Sri Lanka, and I was set up with a family. A friend of mine, a diplomat buddy of mine, said, I want you to meet a family, I want you to experience real Sri Lankan home life. And so I met up with this guy named Ananda in Colombo, the capital city. Ananda drove me to the middle of the country, a place called Penn. It's a mountainous region, indescribably beautiful. And I meet his wife, who speaks not much English, but she's very polite. I meet the son, who's like 15, he's in school, speaks some English. I'm sitting in his room, it's me and him, me and the kid kicking it, and I said, so you like music? He goes, yeah. I said, how do you get your music? And his face changed, like, oh, well, we go on the internet, and we find a song here, and a truck drives by and it falls off the back, and we pick it up, and a dog drops one out of his mouth. And I said, so you basically get music, you swipe it from wherever you can. And he goes like, oh, it's not really stealing. I said, it's not really stealing, and I'm not really Lars Ulrich. I don't want the 65 cents. It's all right, it's okay. So I said, does Central Sri Lanka have a music scene? And he said, yeah. I said, what kind of music do you all get into? He said, death metal. I said, let me get this straight. Sri Lankan death metal? He said, yeah, you want to hear some? I said, oh, yes, I do. And for the next half hour, we're listening to Sri Lankan death metal, which you're not going to be that surprised. It sounds like death metal. But it's good, but it kind of has a Sri Lankan thing to it. It's like, fine for me. And so I asked this kid, I go, have you ever heard of this band or this band or this band? I name all these bands. And he's heard of some of them, but he's never really heard them. Because, you know, it's central Sri Lanka, you don't have access to that much music all the time. And one of my hippie-dippy doodah ideas, slapping patchouli oil, looking for a dog to hug, or a hacky sack to kick, one of my hopelessly naive and utopian ideas is, if young people from all over the world dig music from all over the world, they become socialized in a global way, more hesitant to start a war with someone they don't know, because they will know that country via the music. And where a lot of countries in the world